Yeah, for the kids, we have like the Bellroy 10-liter camera edition sling that we use as kind of like our
interesting
grab and go bag. So as far as like putting diapers and, you know, like snacks, like change of clothes, things like that.
But the thought is so funny. Imagine someone stealing your camera sling bag thinking, oh, there's a Sony A7 V in there with an expensive G lens, and then they open it up and it's like just diapers and stuff like
Literally.
That would be funny,
amazing.
Actually.
It's hilarious.
Hello everyone, welcome to another Ismono podcast. And before we start, I have a light migraine, so if I kind of stumble upon my words and am a little bit slower than usual, then you know that is the reason for it. And today I have finally one of the newer bag reviewers. Is that fair to say? I mean, your channel obviously already has a bit of a size, but I would say comparatively to someone like Pack Hacker or Chase Reeves, I would argue your channel is on the younger side. It is Wolf from Nitpicky. Hi. How are you?
Oh, thanks for having me, man. Excited to chat. And yeah, still very much a virgin in the large scheme of things in this world.
So for all of I am pretty certain your name is coming up in a lot of the comments that I've been seeing lately. But for those of you who don't know you, can you give a little bit of an introduction, who you are and what you do on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, for sure. I'm Wolf. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I launched my channel Nitpicky a little over a year ago. And similar to you, I'm talking about bags, carry products for day-to-day and travel from the perspective of someone that has a bit of a crazy brain. I'm very particular, nitpicky, hence Nitpicky. And yeah, just kind of leaning into that part of my personality to obsess over the finer details, both good and bad, when it comes to bag-related products. Which, similar to you, I feel like of all the people out there that have been doing this for a while, I feel like you are definitely like a proper nitpicker as well, which I appreciate.
Thank you. I mean, let's stick a little bit to your YouTube channel, because I have been watching your videos for quite a while now as well. And what I really noticed is the way you go about it and the way you present yourself. It kind of gave me the impression that you have been doing this much longer than a year. So do you have a background in video making, and also in terms of, because you also have a very structured way of kind of doing your reviews, so it gave me the perception that you have been doing this a little bit longer than a year. Or are you just a fast learner?
That's huge praise coming from you, Mr. Film Editor, man. I wouldn't say like any formal experience, but with that being said, I feel like ever since I could remember, I was like filming videos with friends and family with like my parents' camcorder, and my dad, like when I was young, taught me how to like edit on a VCR. And so like through different stages of my life, I've just like created, like stupid content, not for the public. But when I launched the YouTube channel, I was like, all right, I need to like learn a proper editing software. So I'm like using DaVinci. So there was definitely like a learning curve, but between that and Canva, which has made, like I used to do Photoshop in a previous life, but it's made the world a lot easier to create content nowadays for sure.
But how did you, if you're saying you already dabbled a little bit in creating videos and stuff like that, it is fairly unusual. That is a question that I gotten a lot. Why bags? Why did you go into bags and not... we just talked about motorcycles. That would probably been an option as well, right? Making a motorcycle YouTube channel or something, I imagine.
Yeah. It's funny. My friends make fun of me. They'll say like, what's Wolf's hobby of the month? I definitely have a revolving door of hobbies. When I moved to Utah like 10 years ago, I grew up in Miami, and like we didn't really have a lot of, I guess, like activities beyond like going to the beach or like playing sports, things like that. But like here in Utah, you have the mountains, and I picked up a ton of hobbies very quickly, right? Like I was already mountain biking, but besides that, like we talked about riding motorcycles, skiing, camping, hiking, all of that good stuff. And it just, each hobby lent itself to a world of gear that I obsessed over. So 10 years ago, I did one video where I was like, oh, I'm going to do a YouTube channel where I talk about gear, but it was more like not like dialed into backpacks. Put out one video, got like 6 views, got discouraged, and then I just like never did it again until, you know, like a year or so ago. And then I think with bags, typically within different product categories, once I find like the ultimate thing that I was looking for, it's not that the excitement goes away, but it does a little bit. And I think there's just something so exciting about bags, this elusive search for the perfect bag in a world where things are constantly in flux, where you travel, like your life circumstances constantly change, your preferences change. So it's this continuous exploration in the world of like minimalism, optimization. And so, it's the product category I think that I will be least vulnerable to getting tired of, for sure.
Interesting perspective. But you just said something along the lines of kind of improving something and looking for, in air quotes, the best thing. What was like the initial spark? I assume that before you started YouTube or the bag search in general, I assume you had a bag that wasn't satisfying you in one way or another. So can you remember what bag you used before going into the deep rabbit hole of this bag enthusiasm world? And do you remember what exactly was kind of annoying you with that specific product before you went into this rabbit hole?
Yeah, I mean, given my personality, even the first bag that I can remember buying before like the YouTube world, it was very much a rabbit hole. But at the time, it was like there weren't that many brands or options available. And that one, like my first bag that I was like, all right, I'm going to spend like $100 on a backpack. It was which I still have it. I think it's like right up there. It's the Patagonia Refugio 28 liter pack. And you know, I wanted a bag to like fit my whole life, just my laptop, my adventures, hiking, everything. And then you quickly realize, ooh, maybe I need a dedicated backpack for when I go mountain biking or hiking and all that good stuff. And I think that's where things got really interesting.
So a little bit more of different horses for different courses kind of thinking and kind of specializing what you need for what specific activity.
Precisely. Yeah.
Okay, I see. But that is maybe a good segue. What would you say to kind of get to know you a little bit better? What is your daily backpack loadout then? Maybe get us a little bit up to speed. Do you work in an office? Do you have to commute daily? Or do you predominantly, like I do, work from home? Or what's your day-to-day life about in terms of what you need to carry, and then what is your daily loadout?
Yeah, so it's been interesting, this shift, because I too now like work from home. I work remotely. So as far as backpacks and like daily loadout goes, I would say we travel a good bit. We're leaving on Friday. We'll be gone for a month and a half. So I think like my loadout is more geared towards when I'm traveling, because when I'm here at home, like sometimes I'll go work at a coffee shop, something along those lines, or then I have bags for like specific hobbies that I'm into here. But I would say the loadout that I speak to more of in my videos is that one that's like geared towards when I'm in travel mode and just using it as a travel companion to like a suitcase or a duffel, which has been like my preference really in terms of travel lately, which is funny. I was watching the last video that you did, like your top 5 bags, and you were talking about like the Bellroy duffel and how you're not, I find that so interesting that just like where you live in the world is going to dictate so much. Like how you travel and what you use, and like, given the fact that you're in Germany and Hamburg, like not using a carry-on, but
or a car. I mean, I remember doing a high school year in Oklahoma where you have no public transportation, right? So everyone is pretty much used to
Oklahoma. How fun.
yeah, exactly, to driving a car, and I would say 80% of them have a truck. So there is no question about, do I really need to bring this big bag? I mean, you can carry it in your truck, so it doesn't matter how big it is. But once you live in a city, I would argue, I've only been once in New York, but I would say the public transport system is similar to Hamburg or Berlin. So once you travel in the subway, you kind of notice, okay, that backpack shouldn't be that big because it could be very cumbersome in between all of the people. So as you said, depending on where you live, it changes so much what you load. But do you carry a sling bag then? And especially, I heard that you have 2 kids, right? 2?
Yes. Yeah. 2 little shits.
So I assume you have then a dad bag, a sling bag. Is that something that you carry around? Or are you like totally minimalist? I put everything in my pants pockets.
No. That is blasphemy. Yeah, for the kids, we have like the Bellroy 10-liter camera edition sling that we use as kind of like our
interesting
grab and go bag, because it's designed a little bit more specifically towards camera carry. You get some segmentation that you don't get in the 9-liter version. So as far as like putting diapers and, like snacks, change of clothes, things like that.
Wow.
I kind of like the sling because it's very like good for grab and go. And also when we travel, we take it with us versus like having to like taking a bag is usually just like too big for what we need. They're like actual essentials. Yeah.
That is so cool. That is the first. On my podcast with Ron Kwok, we talked a lot about dad bags because I'm not a dad, but I get a lot of questions about what would be a perfect dad bag. And now you hearing using a camera sling bag as a dad bag is amazing. Can you talk a little bit more about how you load it out? I mean, okay, you said like in one, I would assume in the lenses compartment, you put the diapers and then like a baby bottle in the camera compartment, or how do you?
So, I mean, that sling, they're kind of like collapsible little segments. So you have modularity. So there's not, I wouldn't say like a dedicated camera place or a dedicated lens place. It's just choose your own adventure sort of thing. But yeah, when I have it packed out, it's all like nicely organized. And then once like my wife has been like restocking, and then it's just like kind of a shit show where it's just like packing stuff everywhere. But yeah, just kind of using those as dividers. So you have like diapers on one side, change of clothes, snacks, and then it has like on either side little stretch mesh like hammocks, I guess. And there you can put like a little water bottle on one side and then like snacks on the other. Yeah, when I reviewed that bag, this was like early on. Yeah, I talk about it as kind of like that alternate use case that I think has been, I mean, granted, it's pretty expensive for what it is if you're going to be using it exclusively for a diaper bag, but
I would argue having a proper tool that makes your life easier is worth the investment. I've seen it so many times. I mean, all of us have tried to utilize like a power drill, and we all know how difficult it is to put a hole inside the wall with your $20 Walmart drill machine. That doesn't work. So there is an argument to spend a little bit more and make your life a little bit easier, right? So I think it is a very valid investment considering you have to deal with your kids a little bit in terms of time.
Could not agree more with that statement. We could spend the next 45 minutes literally just talking about that.
But the thought is so funny. Imagine someone stealing your camera sling bag thinking, oh, there's a Sony A7 V in there with an expensive G lens. And then they open it up and it's like just diapers and stuff like
literally.
That would pretty be funny, amazing. Actually.
It's hilarious.
So that would... Now that we have your choice for a sling bag, and I think that is an amazing recommendation, and you going into vacation next week for 1.5 months, I would really like to know your your kind of packing style? Are you flying? Are you driving by car? Are you bringing a check-in bag, or are you traveling carry-on? What's your setup?
Yeah. So my wife is from the Dominican Republic. Her whole entire family lives out there. So we'll be spending most of the time out there.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, it's great. We absolutely love it. And especially with the kids just getting spoiled out there, like being able to like sleep in and like use both hands while eating. Definitely looking forward to it. This is a trip that we do at least once or twice a year. So I have it pretty dialed in, I would say. And just keep in mind that the airport's like 20 minutes away. So like my sister will drop us off. There's no like public transportation involved. So typically what we'll do is I take just my carry-on. I've always hated checking bags in. And for the most part, like I avoid it like the plague, but yeah, essentially we do one carry-on for myself. I'm taking the Bellroy one. I'm actually the air one is coming in, so I might take two to test them out side by side, or just take the air one because I haven't tried the air one. And then we have a level 8 like checked in like luggage that's like pretty big. It has this like super beefy handle, which is super nice. And then we'll take 2 backpacks. The Max EDC pretty much like always comes with us for 2 reasons. Once I'm out there, are you familiar with paddle, the sport?
Isn't it kind of like pickleball, or like tennis, but with a paddle, like this wooden paddle? Or
it's not wooden; it's like a foam core. But yeah, it's huge. It's huge in Europe. It's the fastest growing sport in the world. But yeah, it has like you're playing in kind of like a cage with glass walls. So it is, and it's on turf. So it's a combination of tennis, pickleball, and racquetball.
Okay.
I'll send you a video after. It's super fun. They just brought it to Salt Lake City, but where I'm going, I play a ton. So it's a great, like the Max EDC makes for just like a great hybrid, like gym bag. And also on the plane, there's this thing called a Flyaway, which is, it converts like the seats into like a bed for the kids. So for these, it's like a very long day of traveling. And it's kind of bulky, so we put it in there. And then I'm still deciding on the second bag to bring, but I'm leaning towards this guy right here, the Waterfield Designs Tech Folio, which is not
a lot of bags.
Huh?
That's a lot of bags.
Yes, yeah. It'll be like one for like the seat under us, where I just have like my tech, which that'll be the Waterfield one, and then my wife with the Max EDC with all the kid stuff, and then we check one bag in and then one carry on. Yeah, that's typically what we do.
Really stupid question, because I don't have kids. I mean, every person has an allowance of bags, right? So one carry-on, one personal item.
Yeah,
I assume, right? And am I correct or understanding correctly that kids nowadays don't have kids prices? So you basically.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, so your kids also have, again, one personal item and one bag allowance.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, correct. So
that's why you have so many bags.
So really it's like one carry-on suitcase for me, and then the checked luggage, which is the bigger one, that's for my wife and the 2 kids. And technically now that if you're buying a seat for your kid, they can essentially, like, we could technically like not check a bag in. But yeah, with these like longer days, I know it's always a risk and I'm playing with fire, but yeah, just checking the bag in and really like having a stroller, the 2 kids, having our hands free as much as possible. I would have never, like, I've never checked a bag in my life until 2 years ago. I'm like, all right, let's try it. And yeah, the hands free, like stress free side of it when you're at the airport. Is worthwhile the risk, in my opinion. Just don't put anything too important in the check bag.
Sure. Does the stroller count against the numbers of bags? Okay, that makes it easier then. All right. So, but that's still a lot of backpacks, as far as I can tell, right?
Welcome to life with kids. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, how old are your kids?
3 and 1.
Oh, so you cannot give them a bag. Here, carry my carry-on backpack.
Pretty soon.
Yeah. All right. So that's and inside your carry-on backpack, are you a tech geek as well? Do you carry a couple of kind of tech stuff, or are you very rational and only have clothing and your delve kit inside your backpack? Or is there some like, okay, I need 45% of the bag is filled with a MacBook camera and stuff like that?
I don't know. Like, I feel like you geek out hard on tech, which I absolutely love. So if you're a 10, maybe I'm like a 6.4. I don't know. But no, really just on flights, I'll have laptop, tablet, over the ear headphones, my tech pouch with just like, chargers, tech essentials, AirPods, light jacket, and then camera if I'm still undecided if I'm gonna crank out some content here and then just take a little hiatus and edit while I'm out there, or capture some content when I'm out there, because the camera definitely like just complicates things a little when you're traveling.
It is heavy and big and cumbersome. I totally can understand that. Yeah. But how long is the flight from your place to the Dominican Republic? 6 hours?
So there's no direct flight, but it's usually we'll usually like fly into Miami or Atlanta or something like that, which will be like 4.5 hours. And then it's like another 2.5, 3 hours. But with layovers, it really is like flying to Europe. It's a whole day of traveling.
Damn, that is exhausting. Any tips and tricks for all of the new dads or new mothers that are going to travel with a small child? Because you just said you travel at least 2 times per year, so you're probably have a couple of good tips for your flight, right?
Yeah, I mean, for us, even though it's not super ideal, but the only flights are always red eyes, but I feel like it's more chill flying at that time of the night. Like there's less people are kind of out of it, and the kids, it's easier for them to knock out. And then beyond that flyaway that I talked about, I remember just like, it was like as someone that's like trying to avoid taking anything that's unnecessary as much as possible, particularly bulky things. Like I remember like my wife, she'll buy stuff that sometimes doesn't end up getting used, and it drives me crazy. I'm like, it's either going to get used a lot or I'm returning it or selling it. But yeah, no, that thing has been a lifesaver. They just get comfortable. They like knock out, takes up space, but for longer flights, I think it's definitely worth it.
Do you need to kind of exhaust your kids before the flights in terms of, okay, let's go to the jungle gym? I mean, okay, the 1-year-old probably not, but the other one, because I feel like they probably are so excited to go on a flight that they are full of adrenaline and cannot sleep. Is there something that you do? Because I'm asking, I've seen so many parents, or I have seen so many parents flying with their kids that are unfortunately very overwhelmed with the situation. And then you sit there with your noise cancelling headphones trying to kind of isolate yourself, but it's obviously hard. And I wonder if there are any tips and tricks that you utilize for that. Or you are just very lucky having very chill kids?
I will say, like, we've been pretty lucky that on flights, that was one of my biggest fears with both of them, because you don't want to be like that parent that is like has a kid that's losing it and there's nothing that you can do. It's super frustrating. But when we fly at those times, they are just naturally pretty chill. But the other thing is
bedtime. I see.
The other thing is, it's funny. It's maybe shouldn't be promoting this, but like we're very mindful with screen time. They only watch TV on the weekends, but cool. Like we make an exception. Like when we fly, they just like we have like little kid headphones that they connect to the little in-flight entertainment screen or whatever, and so they kind of get excited for it, and they like they'll watch it and then they get tired because I'm like, I'm not gonna have them losing it and have other people like frustrated around us and us stressed out. Like we'll make the exception for it, so that usually works magic for sure.
I see. Yeah, but I mean, it is a good advice in the biggest scheme of things in terms of, okay, limiting device time in your regular life, and therefore having a good in air quotes leverage for those flight times. Oh, okay, you can now watch TV because it's a special time, right? So, but because if you had a kid that has always access to an iPad or screen time, that leverage probably doesn't work inside the plane. So that's a good strategy, I would assume. That's pretty cool.
No, and it's also like, it's crazy how tangible it is, their overall behavior when they're like watching. Because at first we're like trying to have a balance, right? But we didn't have like set days or times, but we would just notice like the day after that they'd watch a lot of TV, like they were just chaotic, you know what I mean? Like whatever, it's not doing great things to their brain. So that's yeah.
I mean, I guess it's totally understandable. I don't understand. I mean, I'm not a parent, so I'm probably the least person that has anything to say about that, but I assume that a kid watching TV all the time, that cannot be good for their development, but I'm just assuming. All right, so I would go now a little bit back to not traveling, but your day-to-day life in terms of what is your everyday carry? What's your go-to that always is in your pocket or in your sling bag? Because that is such a individually decision, and it also says a lot about your character. So I'm really interested to hear what's your daily everyday carry.
Yeah, I will say I probably don't have like a very sexy, like unique everyday carry.
That's okay.
It really comes down to my essentials. There's always like things that when I'm like testing out a new sling or something, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll put this like fancy little gadget that I never use in there just to fill up space. But really like last night I filmed a video, like sling video, like my core essentials, really AirPods, sunglasses, Anchor mobile battery bank, like the 3-in-1 that like plugs into a wall directly and it has like an integrated cable. It's a little bulkier, but it's so practical not having to carry like a separate charger to charge it.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, like the Woobin G5, like the little like flashlights. I mean, the little like Zippo lighter size flashlight takes up no space. And that's like, I would say pretty much wallet? Like, and then there's two things that I guess are, so for my day-to-day life, actually like wallet, like I just have this Moft clip-on and I literally have my driver's license and my credit card, and between that and Apple Pay, like here where I live, like I'd never, with the exception of like the occasional taco stand that only accepts cash, that I'm like, hopefully I have cash in. And then when I travel, I do have a wallet. I've been using the Pioneer Carry Altitude. I really like it. And then, I would say the two, I guess, like more unique things to me that I also will always have with me when I travel in my go-to setup is just pair of nail clippers, because like to me, like if I'm like somewhere and like I feel like I have like longer nails or just like one nail, like I go crazy. I just hyper focus on it. And so like having a pair of nail clippers, I've talked about these. We actually just like got a second pair because my wife's always like, where the hell are they? They're actually made in Germany. It's a brand called Mr. Green. They're like $13, which is expensive for nail clippers, but an absolute worthwhile investment. It is a tool that gets the job done incredibly well. And then the other kind of weird one is, this is funny, I'm even like sharing this publicly. So pair of scissors. I'm 37. I've been cutting my hair, like my own hair, for the last 20 years. And it started off as this kind of like tick when I was in college, like studying for like finals, whatever it was, just like being stressed out and anxious. And I would like twirl my hair. And I still do this to this day. It's funny. My 3-year-old daughter, she twirls her hair. Like before she even was aware of what I was doing, she has like the same tick. God bless her. And so I'll like start like twirling my hair in one specific place, but I'll do it enough that either the hair just grows a little longer or the tips just end up. I do this a lot. And so like the only thing that like relieves the anxiety is just like cutting it, like the end of it.
Yeah,
and so I have like a small travel size pair of scissors. It was so funny. I was like visiting my parents a couple weeks ago in Miami, and I had like my sling on me, and I'm like sitting in my mom's car, and like I wasn't even like paying attention, and I like pull down the window, I like snip a piece of hair, and I throw it out, and she was just like dying of laughter. She knows about it, but she like had no. Oh man, yeah, I'm crazy. So yeah, I guess I do have some weird stuff.
So you always have that pair of scissors in your sling bag.
Yeah, when I'm traveling, sling, and if not, it's in the tech pouch. It goes from one or the other, but it's always with me.
Is it the proper like hair cutting pair of scissors? Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I also a really expensive one. I assume those hair cutting scissors are expensive, aren't they?
So I have like an expensive pair at home that I use for like cutting my own hair, but I've been like looking, but to find one, I believe it's like the blade has to be under 4 inches in order for it to be like TSA compliant. And so I haven't found anything that's been like a worthwhile investment. I've had the same pair of scissors for like 11 years now for the small ones. They still work.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, this brings me back again to this, what we said in the beginning in terms of investing in good quality equipment, because I would say for three quarter of a year, I also cut my hair by myself. But I mean, for me, it's simple. Nice. I just have a buzz cut, right? For you, I totally understand that it is a skill that needs to be very appreciated, because you have a little bit longer hair. I mean, I just use a clipper and then go over it, so it's easy. So what you're doing is really really difficult, especially in the back, right? So, and with that in mind, I really noticed the importance of good quality equipment. With that, I actually had this really cheap clipper that I only used for my beard. And I tried to kind of do a buzz cut with that, and it was really annoying. And then I was like, okay, let's buy something better. And I bought a better clipper, and it makes such a difference. And also, you just said something about nail clippers. For years, I had this one nail clipper, and I thought, it's just a nail clipper, just do it. And it always leaves those ridges. And I bought a better one. Then obviously I would say, why would I spend that much money? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot of money, but comparatively to what you can get at Walmart or at the supermarket, it is obviously a little bit more expensive in terms of a nail clipper. And I noticed, this is a huge difference how my nail feels after clipping it. So
100%.
I think that is so cool that you do that stuff yourself. And just wanted to bring that up because I just had this epiphany moment for those small little items, the way you kind of think, agreed. You don't need to do that. But that's so cool that you. How long have you been cutting your hair? I mean, I'm cheap. I didn't want to spend with a buzz cut. I have to cut my hair every week. And I didn't want to spend those 15 euros at the barbershop every week. So I did that. Why did you do it? Why did you start cutting your own hair?
Yeah, it was two things. It was one, that tick that I developed in college. I would like snip one hair here, one hair here, one hair here, and then it would just get all asymmetrical. And I was like, okay, this is like not sustainable. So one day I was like, I cut it all. And I was like, I mean, it wasn't great by any means, but I was like, okay, that wasn't that hard. But the other thing is that I have always hated the feeling of like after you get a haircut, right? Like even if they put this, they brush it off, like the micro hairs, they just get stuck. And I felt like driving home, like I was like not functional until I showered. And then like that, I would have like a dedicated shirt just for like haircuts, because I was convinced that the hairs would like remain impregnated in the fibers.
It does. It's not imagination.
Yeah. And then on top of it, it was like, and I have to pay money for it. So yeah, I mean, I should like do some math one day and figure out how much money I've saved. I mean, thank you. I'm sure someone else can do a better job, but like I've done it so much that I know exactly how I like it. Also, like you're not at the mercy of some like new person that, because like your person got sick and then they completely ruin your hair. So
exactly. But man, that's a really good skill that you developed, because as I said, I mean, buzz cuts is easy, but what you're doing is complicated. Especially, I also bought this really nice fancy mirror that has these folding doors, so I can see what's going on in the back.
Oh, smart! I should probably look into that, because
you don't do that. How do you do that?
I literally. It's just kind of like a feel thing, and then I'll ask my wife. I'll be like, "Hey, how is it?" And then there's been times where she's like, "Oh, like you missed something," and she'll fix it for me. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I've literally been doing it for almost 20 years. So
wow,
it's just it's a whole thing.
Yeah, probably when you turn, you have like a really bald spot here because you always miscut and
it's been awful. Yeah,
I'm only doing video calls. Who cares about the back of my head, right?
Exactly.
All right. So I would like to know what's going back to bag. I feel like we go on a lot of tangents, but I feel like you have so many interesting takes on all of this stuff. So going back to bags, what's your most important feature on the bag that you're always looking for? I already kind of know, or I feel like I know what you're going to say, but maybe you answer, then maybe I can say what I was thinking, what the favorite thing is.
Like what I find myself always naturally gravitating to specific bags, what it comes down to really is comfort. And so even though it's not like a specific feature, I can maybe like answer that part next, but like comfort is just so freaking important to me. Yeah. Like the older I get, that like, for example, the Pioneer Carry Panda Pack. Like I did a video on it. Yeah, I love that bag. I think I've heard you talking about it as well. I know you're a fan of it.
But you have the second version, right?
I do. Yeah.
You have to have had the first version. Yeah.
And it's an amazing bag, but the comfort, it's not uncomfortable, but there's just bags that I have that are significantly more comfortable. Like if that bag had, if that bag was more comfortable, like an 8.5 and up right now, it's like it's high 7s. I don't know, but that would be like pretty close to perfect for me in many ways. And then beyond that, features that I look for. By the way, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just something happened with audio there for a second. I'm trying to think like what the biggest deal breaker might be, but I mean, I guess I just have to say, because it's like I obsess over zippers, but it's just funny how like that's what you're gonna say. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Like I feel like no matter how a bag can check off every single box, but my favorite bags have a really, really frictionless, delicious, buttery zipper experience.
That's why I thought that's one of the reasons why I like the Pioneer Carry bags, right? I feel like those zippers are really good. They feel great. Yeah.
Oh man.
But it's interesting that you found, and I mean, that basically underlines what I am always saying about bags, because it is such an subjective thing about bags, what makes them so interesting, because I felt the Panda bag on my back is extremely comfortable. How tall are you?
I'm 5'8", 140 pounds.
Okay, so you're taller than me. Yeah, maybe that's the reason, because for me it kind of hugged my back really well. And
I would say it's not, it does conform to my back well. It's just the straps themselves, I think, just could use for me a little, when I have more stuff in it and it's a little bit heavier, it's just not a bag that I want to be like walking around a new city and all day long with it. But yeah, and that is, to your point, you asked me earlier, like why bags? every product, there's so much subjectivity around it, but I feel like the world of bags it's ultimately about like getting in tune with what your preferences are, what you value the most. And so that's something I try to incorporate in the channel, right? It's not like, hey, this is the best bag. It's like, hey, this is the best bag for me because of X, Y, and Z. And I think if you're into these things, you would love it. But if you're into these things, it's not going to be a good fit for you. And just leaning into that subjectivity, because everyone is so wildly different, you know, as far as what they look for.
Is it when you are looking for a bag, considering you predominantly use bags for traveling and you working from home, are you more likely to gravitate towards carry-on sized bags? So something around the 30 liter mark. So you don't look at below 20 liter bags at all?
No. Sorry. When you said carry-on, I mean like travel companion size bags, because I'm pretty much always traveling with a suitcase, with like a carry-on suitcase, and then a smaller backpack that I can use as a day pack at destination, or that I put underneath the seat in front of me, and I'll have it on the luggage pass through when I'm at the airport. So yeah, really my sweet spot is like 18 to 22 liters. I know the Panda's like a little bit bigger, but yeah, I think like 18 to 22 is like the sweet spot.
So when you were talking about the Bellroy bag and the upcoming Air bag that you potentially will be using for your travel, you were talking about the carry-on rolling luggage?
Yes, that's why when you're like, that's a lot of bags. Yeah, so it's like, it's really just one for my wife, one for me, and then one backpack for each. No, that would be absolutely mayhem. No, those are the carry-on. I want to do a comparison of the two, because people ask me all the time, like, how is it different from, so.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that video if you compare the two, because both of those rolling luggages are really good.
Do you have the Air? I'm assuming you did the review of the Air one.
And I think the Air, what's so cool about the Air is the stopper feature, that you can break the wheels. And I'm confused that they are at the moment the only ones that utilize that feature, which I find really weird. It's such a simple but amazing idea, and I'm extremely confused that at least Bellroy didn't think of it.
Yeah, no, and that's wild that I didn't realize. I figured, okay, like they're maybe not the only ones to do it, but that's really interesting that no one else. Yeah, because I mean, like you look at strollers, they all have it. They all have that feature, and you know, suitcases are not too different.
Exactly. I don't understand it, because I've seen now so many rolling luggages. I've just had the one from Horizon Studios. I checked out the one from Air, Bellroy, of course, Carl Friedrich. And as far as I can tell, some of the Samsonite also, I didn't test them, but I've seen them. Level 8, only Air has that stopping feature. And it is such a good feature, especially if you just kind of sit down, wait in the waiting area, and want to put your feet on top of your of your bag. Just for that alone, that stopper is really good. So I don't understand why it's. I'm not sure if they patented. Maybe they patented it, but I cannot imagine if that is the reason. I don't know. It's looking forward to your video if you should do a comparison about the two, because both are great, actually.
Yeah, it gets in tomorrow if I'm not mistaken. So it'll be interesting for sure.
So what's speaking of upcoming bags? So what's coming up soon, or what are you preparing to review in the next few weeks and months? Because I assume now that you're on vacation, you probably won't do that many videos. So after starting next year, what can people see on your channel?
Yeah, there's a few fun stuff coming. There's a video that's already completed that will be posted soon on I think you reviewed it. I haven't had a chance to check it out, but the new modern day fare backpack, like the 18 liter version of it. I'm doing a like a DOP kit toiletry bag guide video talking about 8 different ones. Across 3 different, I guess like sizes. It'll be like one for like your very minimal packer. You just want something that's like very lightweight, minimal organization. One that's like, I think for most people, just between small to medium size, and then one like in the 3 liter world for people that take a lot of shit.
May I say something? And, I feel like you're going to poke the bear with this.
Ooh. Just the Ziploc people.
No, yeah, that. But I can already foresee those comments that say something like, "Oh, why you as a man are carrying that many items? I only bring my deodorant and a can of oil to wash myself." So something like along those lines. I can already kind of tell that's going to happen.
Totally.
So, but I think that's interesting because I think DOP kits are so personal, and I think that could be a really interesting guide.
Yeah, and I think with Christmas, I think the reason why I decided to do it is like with Christmas around the corner, I feel like DOP kits are such an ideal Christmas gift in the sense that like a good DOP kit, you know, like it's not cheap, but it's still like you can get like a really nice one for like $40, $50, $60, you know, something that's like, you know, not exorbitantly expensive. And I think it's one of those, you know, for us, like that we're passionate about bags. Like, of course you have a dedicated DOP kit that you've done a lot of research into, but most guys in general are still using the same backpack that they got from a conference 10 years ago, let alone a DOP kit. It's probably, you know, I think most people don't really have a DOP kit that they really spend a lot of time and energy into, you know, because it's like you don't use it as much, but it's like you should have a good DOP kit.
Definitely. If I find it so weird if I see people like putting their toothbrush next to their deodorant, like really close to each other. No, don't do that, please.
I have to ask because I'm curious if it's like one of the ones that I'm going to be talking about. What is your current DOP kit go to?
I am using the one from Air actually at the moment.
Is it the DOP kit or the one that like the hanging one? Because they have 2.
It does have a hanger. Oh, what was it called?
I think it's like the travel. There's so many names that all sound similar.
Air. They have way too many. It's not the hanging one because I found that to be a little bit cumbersome. Where is it?
They have the travel kit and the DOP kit.
The DOP kit 3.
All right. Nice. Okay, that's on the list.
It's actually, when I open it up, it's one of those situations where my perception is totally misplaced. I thought like, oh, this is just, it's not as cool and it's not as practical, because at the same moment, I also had the gravel, this one where you open it up and stuff like that. I had that one in hand as well. And I thought something along the lines, okay, the gravel one is a little bit cooler. Yeah, I have all of these compartments and stuff like that. But what I always kind of forget sometimes, or no, I don't forget it when it comes down to backpacks, but with DOP kits, for some reason, I don't know, my head doesn't work that well. I think like, oh, okay, I have all of these cool compartments. And then I notice, oh, okay, my travel-sized shampoo bottle that I could refill into my gravel bottle, but I just didn't bother, is too big and it doesn't fit that compartment. And I have to kind of rethink how to structure it. And you really notice with the gravel one that they have thought about stuff where to put them. And in their feature product page, you really clearly see, okay, they want you to put the Old Spice Deo stick in that compartment, but I have nothing that is shaped like the Old Spice Deo stick. So then I put everything into the Air, and I noticed, okay, the simplicity of the Air fits so much better. These weirdly shaped bottles, especially those travel size bottles, right? And I totally get, I already know someone will comment, oh, you shouldn't use those travel bottles, because yes, it is obviously better to have those refillable bottles and then just squish your shower gel into them. But sometimes I just don't think about it and then just get something, especially when I go to my in-laws. I don't know. Yeah. When I go to my in-laws, I don't think, and my brain doesn't compute traveling. So I'm very inefficient. And then I think like, oh, are we driving today? Okay, let's go to the supermarket real quick, and I buy those travel size shampoo bottles.
Got it.
So especially I'm the Head and Shoulders kind of guy. I need those anti-dandruff things, so I need to buy those.
Gotcha.
I cannot use the hotel shampoo bottles, for example. Yeah.
That makes sense.
But what's after you have done, I mean, you don't need to answer this if it's too spoiler territory, but what's your go-to DOP kit then, especially after this video?
Maybe I won't spoil the go-to one yet, but I would say just kind of like the theme a little bit is also just in line with what you said.
Simplicity.
I was using the one that I was using for a while that I bring up in like a travel essentials video that I did was the small version of the Peak Design one. But really over time, it's like a fantastic DOP kit. I think for anyone coming from a mediocre DOP kit, they're going to be like, like blown away. But in Peak Design fashion, it is very over engineered.
Yeah.
It bulks out width-wise quite a bit.
I had that one as well.
Too much structure and like the whole like novelty of like the accordion style organizers. Yeah, I find that things just like bulk up in there. And so the one that really right now I'm really enjoying is one that out of all of them probably has the most simple, one of the more simple designs. But with some things like that, it's like, if it's worked a certain way, like you don't need to reinvent the wheel, right?
It would be so funny if the plot twist was at the end of your video, you're just recommending this paper bag, not even a Ziploc bag, but just this really weird paper bag, and just say something like along the line, I use this as my DOP kit because I throw everything away when I arrive at my destination. Fuck the environment.
That is hilarious. It's like I've overthought everything, gonna just deactivate the YouTube channel, just getting rid of all my bags, like fuck this consumption. That's hilarious.
So we are at the end of the podcast, but I ask this lately because I'm so interested. It doesn't have to be a bag or something that is related to your channel. What was the most memorable, either good or bad, purchase within the last 12 months?
I guess like not related. I'll try to keep this as short as possible, but because it like literally the resolution of this whole vortex happened yesterday. But I'm a watch guy. Like I love watches, but I'm also like I don't have a ton of watches, right? And I have really two, well, not counting like my G-Shock, which I freaking love as well. But I have a Junghans Max Bill, which I use a ton. I'm sure you're familiar with them. They're like out of Germany, Bauhaus style. And then I have this Rolex that my dad gave it to me, and it's a beautiful watch. I will never sell it, but it's a Rolex, right? And so like I've never felt too comfortable wearing it for a number of reasons. Just like it just draws a certain energy and attention that I'm not looking to get, if that makes sense. And I feel like also within the watch world, like Rolex is very much like, it is still a revered brand. Like they make fantastic products, but I feel like so many of the people that buy Rolexes, they don't really buy them because they give a shit about like what they look like or anything. It's just purely like signaling. And so that I don't like. And so I've been on the hunt for a tool watch, a field watch for some time. And, you know, when I get into something like this, like you mentioned, hey, like tools that are going to serve a purpose for a long time are a worthwhile investment. And so something like this, the go anywhere, do anything watch that I would wear every day, my wife like literally is like, I'm so glad this is like over. I can't tell you how many like videos and Reddit vortexes I've been on, and I bought a watch that I actually talk about in a video. And the watch came in and I really liked the watch. It was a company called Christopher Ward. They're out of England, and they're known for making very high-end pieces that are very like intelligently priced. Like they're not cheap. The watch was like, I think like $1,400, but I mean, it's like in line with watches that are like 2 times, 3 times as much. But just something, you know, when you just buy a product and like it doesn't fully click for you, like you don't dislike anything about it, but you can't put your finger on it. I'm like, if I'm spending this amount of money on a watch, like I want to have that feeling. And with watches, you kind of have to like try it on in person. And anyways, one of the watches that was on the short list was the Tudor Ranger. And in pictures, it looks like the most bland, boring thing you'll ever see. But I was like, let me try it on in person, because Christopher Ward has like a 60-day return policy. And so I was like, I want to make sure. And I tried on the Ranger in person at a store, and I was like, shit, this is the one. So I didn't buy it there. I bought it slightly used for like $1,000 less, and actually like came in yesterday. It's this one right here. It's on a bracelet, which I'll put it on. I'll put it on a NATO strap for sure, but I haven't had a chance to. But yeah, it's understated. It's just like the perfect, you know, dress up, dress down, not draw too much attention. Yeah. Timeless tool watch. So that's been the product purchase that I think I've probably invested the most time and energy into, like deciding on. But it's so fun. It is like such a crazy. Yeah,
I know. I love watches. World. I didn't know that you are into watches as well.
Yeah. I was like WhatsApping with Aaron, because he's gotten into the world of watches kind of recently as well. He has a cool collection. But yeah, in the world of YouTube and content creators, there's a lot of like really good, thoughtful, like fantastic product reviewers in the watch world as well. So yeah, if you're looking for a new vortex, it can be a very passionate fan base sometimes. Oh yeah.
And I will use that word passionately very loosely. It can go in very different directions.
100%. Yeah, I agree.
That's a cool answer, because I also love watches, and I can totally understand that you feel very, let's say, self-conscious with wearing the Rolex, especially since it also has a lot of emotionality connected to it. You don't want to kind of taint that feeling of having something from your dad and feeling weirded out by wearing it and gaining I totally know what you mean. I feel like people that wear Rolexes, there is a high likeliness that those people are those very showy kind of people. Yeah. And you don't want to kind of be lumped in together with those, with that kind of vibe, I would say. So I can totally understand that. What kind of, but I would like to ask, what kind of Rolex is it? Is it a dive watch, or is it more like along the? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, those are cool.
It's a 1997 Submariner. So it's like, of the world of Rolexes, still one of the least pretentious, showy ones.
But it's a beautiful watch.
But it's also like, you know, anyone that doesn't know anything about watches they'll spot it out, you know, which I don't necessarily love. But it's a beautiful watch.
Is it, since you have it from your dad, does it have like a lot of like scratches and patina and stuff like that? Does it look used, or does it look mint and pristine?
It definitely has, because like my dad wore it for a very long time before he gave it to me, and he wore it every single day of his life, except for like weddings. He had another watch for that, but he took good care of it. I take good care of my things as well. So I think
amazing.
given the fact that I've had it for 20 years, it's in great shape for sure.
Yeah. But that's what I love about these kind of heirlooms, especially you having that kind of connection, and then you're also seeing like every single scratch. That's so cool. That's really cool. All right. Thank you so much for taking the time, and everyone, especially for those who didn't realize it. I'm here recording in the afternoon, but Wolf woke up really early, so please go to his channel, put a like and a subscription onto his channel. Where can people find you? Tell everyone where they should go.
Yeah, just I guess like youtube.com/nitpacker, like nitpicker, but with packer. And then I have an Instagram account that's also nitpacker that I'm honestly like not too active in, but I've had people like, add me, like ask me questions on there whenever I like go in there. I'm happy to help out in any way I can. But yeah, Bo, this was awesome, man. I feel like I've seen so many of your videos that, I feel like I already know you, but like properly having a conversation, this was fantastic. And, if I'm ever in your neck of the woods, would love to take you out for some coffee or something.
Same. If I ever come to USA again for visit, I will definitely hit you up. And I'm honestly pleasantly surprised that we have so many things in common. If you now also say you do Muay Thai, then we basically have okay. that would have been perfect actually. But you liking bags, riding a motorcycle, and now also into watches. I think we should definitely do another conversation in the future, because I think there are a couple of more topics that we could hit up.
I'll add flannels to the list because it's funny. I was a little disappointed when I saw you. Like 38% of the reason for why I watch your videos is just to see what flannel you're rocking. You have the most tasteful collection of flannels.
It's cold here. It's cold. Yeah, I'm so jealous that you're going to the really warm. What temperature are you expecting in your vacation now?
Oh man, it's also, I don't thrive in. It's like hot and humid out there. Like in Christmas time, it's the only time of the year that you can like sit outside and not be super uncomfortable. But yeah, I'll take it, and just like going to the beach.
Yeah, it's better than rain, what we have here in Germany at the moment. We don't have snow, we only have rain, and if it snows, it's like hits the ground and kind of morphs into this grayish mud slime. So it's not great. Our Christmas isn't great here. So
we'll take it.
Thank you so much, Wolf, and everyone else. Don't forget to subscribe to Wolf's channel on YouTube at Nitpacker. All right, we see each other in the next podcast. Thank you very much.
See you, Bo.